I man, what's good? What's happening? Disney Channel stars who ruined their careers. Okay, first person off rip I can think of, Orlando Brown. You know what I'm saying? I mean, did they really? Did he really ruin his career? Cause I ain't gonna lie, he's probably out of these three right here. Cause this is a thumbnail. Out of these three right here, I think he's more relevant, or has been more relevant. You feel me? He's recently been around, talked about all this shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, but we gonna see what's going on. Hopefully, he's on the list.
This video is sponsored by Surfshark VPN. Most of us Disney fans have fond memories around Disney Channel stars who made our childhood just a little bit brighter. Unfortunately, while these stars seemed on a definite path to greatness, not all of them managed to keep that spark.
What?
So in today's video, we take a deep dive into Disney Channel stars who somehow ruined their careers, with some even trying to salvage things and get back on the right track. Welcome to Disney Channel stars who ruined their careers.
Zendaya's fine ass, bro.
Hey guys, welcome back to another video. My name is Tuvington, and when I say these people ruined their careers, I'm basically saying they took a really hard hit. Saying someone's career was ruined even though they're making more than the average citizen is very tricky because it's almost debatable. And I am not going to include actors I talked about in this video. Also, today we're focusing on
never mind.
Because it's almost debatable. And I am not going to include actors I talked about in this video.
There he goes. Yep, there he goes. He's right there.
Also, today we're focusing on a real-life morbid topic. This is interesting because I literally said I wasn't going to do these, which is why we switched over to fictional morbid. But I'm always going to be honest with you guys. The fictional morbid videos aren't doing too good on this channel. They're just not. It's been kind of scary looking for a...
Yeah, that's crazy he says that.
You guys. The fictional morbid videos aren't doing too...
Because in his standards, that's bad. It's not as great. In my eyes, that's amazing. Okay? I needs that. We grinded for that, you know what I'm saying? Come on.
Too good on this channel. They're just not.
I feel him though.
It's been kind of scary looking for a home. What niche does the Tuv channel belong to? I don't know either. But what I do know is that I'll try my best to make it morbid, no matter what. But I came up with the idea of every time that I talk about a morbid topic, we get a sponsor to back up the video. So I want to give a big thanks to Surfshark VPN. We'll talk more about them later in the video. This video has a 99% chance of getting demonetized. It might be monetized the first 2 days and then...
Let's see. This dropped 21 hours ago. It's looking good so far, I think.
Right after. I don't know why. I don't want to be the guy that complains about monetization, so I'm not gonna be. I'm still gonna upload. And also, my album dropped on August 18th, so you could go stream it if you want, and you could go watch the album movie. It's here on this channel. With that being said, let's get started with the video. Mitchell Musso. Kicking us off is Mitchell Tate Musso, a 32-year-old actor, also a musician, hailing from Garland, Texas. Before losing his edge, arguably, Musso had a solid career at Disney. He was particularly famous for his role as Oliver Ken in Disney's sitcom Hannah Montana. That role also propelled him into a leading role in Pair of Kings, where he played King Brady. Also in 2010, he became host to a hidden camera reality show, Prank Stars. Now, these are only highlights to Mitchell Musso's accomplishments because there's a lot to go over. He got into acting at the young age of 8, and even before his Hollywood debut in 2004 on the show Secondhand Lions, he had been cast in other films like Am I Cursed and The Keyman. Also, in the time between his role in Hannah Montana and Pair of Kings, he featured in several films in different capacities, including voice acting. For example, he was the voice of Kurt, Bobby Hill's friend, in some episodes of King of the Hill. He was also the voice of Jeremy Johnson in Phineas and Ferb. He voiced Aang in an
Whoa, for real?
Bobby Hill's friend in some episodes of King of the Hill. He was also...
What the fuck? I didn't know that.
The voice of Jeremy Johnson in Phineas and Ferb. He voiced Aang in an unaired version of Avatar: The Last Airbender, and also DJ in Monster House. Musso was also featured as Raymond Fig in Life is Rough, so clearly he had a lot going on. And still, that wasn't all. He had a music career running parallel to his acting. In 2009, he released his debut album under Walt Disney Records. He even got to create original tracks and perform remakes of existing songs for Disney films. He sang a remix version of Lean On Me for the film Snow Buddies, and then, alongside Tiffany Thornton, he recorded the song Let It Go that was used in the film Hatching Pete, not the Frozen Let It Go. Also, in 2009, Musso opened for Metro Station. You know, the classic pop rock band that gave us the hit single Shake It. Shake, shake. Shake, shake, shake it. Again, these are just some of his musical highlights. His accomplishments as a musician are just as impressive as his acting ones. Now, what did Musso do to tarnish such an impressive resume? Well, it's alleged that it's all thanks to a 2011 DUI, as reported by People, the popular online publication. On the early Sunday morning, 3:43 a.m. on October 16th, 2011, Musso was arrested under the suspicion of driving under the influence, with the police confirming that his blood alcohol level was well over. Musso had driven through an intersection and failed to do what an officer instructed him to do. At the time, Musso Musso was 20 years old, which was below the legal drinking age of 21. He went to jail but was released on a $5,000 bail. He eventually accepted a plea deal and got 36 months of probation with no jail time. In an interview with E! Online, he said, "In becoming an adult, I have learned firsthand that stepping up and taking responsibility is the best way to move forward. I am especially thankful to my family and fans for their unwavering support and encouragement. I am glad to now put this in the past." This was after the plea deal. According to TMZ, while Disney and Musso have been in the talks to move the actor from kids shows to young adult projects, the DUI arrest led to the move being made immediately. So instead of Disney waiting for another season of Pair of Kings before making the decision, they quickly replaced him with a character played by Adam Hicks. At the time, Musso was also hosting the Prankstar show, which had aired 4 episodes by the time of his arrest. Learning of the DUI issue and fearing any bad publicity, Disney immediately canceled the show, making it one of the shortest running shows on Disney Channel with only 6 episodes ever being produced. 2 episodes that had already been filmed and were being planned to air were also pulled from the programming schedule. Musso's acting career took a big hit after the DUI incident, and his music career flatlined, but it did pick up a bit in 2022. He did, however, manage to salvage the situation, given he did voice acting for Phineas and Ferb and Milo Murphy's Law. It's even alleged that Musso's saving grace was that Disney had quietly kept him on their payroll even after bidding his show and acting slots after the DUI. The Mitchell Musso case is a really interesting one because he didn't like do anything to anyone else. It's just, you gotta be on edge when you're working for Disney, you know? This was a horrible look for Disney, and they obviously...
Facts, bro. Shit could have been way worse too, bro. Like, God forbid, you feel me? Like, he ended up hitting something, injuring himself or other people. Like, it would have been way worse, bro.
Just wanted nothing to do with him afterwards. But I did see somewhere, the reason I thought about this whole video idea was because he came up on my For You page. I believe it was him, or maybe it was a fan page, but it was just, I think the caption was something along the lines of like, so this is what he's doing now, and he was just making music. Nothing crazy, but seems like a pretty normal dude. It just really sucks that he was drunk driving when he was 20, and you know, who knows where his career would have been if he didn't do that one night when he was only 20 years.
Bro, and it's one thing, bro. It's one thing that can fuck shit up for you. One thing, big or small, can fuck it up for you. That's absurd, bro.
It's old. Like, that's crazy. A decision you make at 20, boom. Now he's 32, so damn. Yeah, whatever. I hope he learned from his mistakes. Let's head on to the next one.
Facts.
Hey guys, I just want to take a quick break to talk about today's sponsor, Surfshark VPN.
Get your bread, bro.
Jake T. Austin. Jake T. Austin definitely took DUI to a whole other level. Hailing from New York City and proudly embracing his Puerto Rican heritage, Jake's acting career goes back as early as 2002 when he was appearing in commercials. He was 8 at the time. He made his first credited acting appearance a year later in 2003 for a role in Kid 1698, a comic sketch in The Late Show with David Letterman, and he kept growing from there. In 2005, for instance, he landed a major role where he voiced Diego, Dora's cousin.
Bro, why? Yo, I didn't know none of this shit, bro. Man, was Diego? That's crazy.
Nickelodeon's Dora the Explorer. He voiced that character even on the spinoff, Go Diego Go. He then did voice roles in the
Go Diego Go. Oh my god, bro.
And Everyone's Hero before his first live-action role in The Perfect Game. However, his debut at Disney was under the role of Chris in Johnny Capahala before he got casted as Max Russo on Wizards of Waverly Place. The role of Max Russo made him particularly famous and cemented his career at Disney. Riding on that fame, he landed other roles between 2011 and 2014, including voicing Fernando in Rio and Rio 2. He also got a guest appearance in Drop Dead Diva and a role as Rob Fisher in Law & Order. I'd say that's pretty impressive. Well, there's actually more. In 2013, Jake landed his next major role after Max Russo. He was cast as Jesus Foster in the famous teen drama The Fosters. It was at this point, 2 seasons into the show, that his career would take a hit. Should we say a self-inflicted hit? And he's still trying to come back from it. So what happened? Jake got into 2 DUI incidents, and they were pretty insane. First, on October 8th, 2013, he was arrested after being pulled over for driving at night without headlights. Apparently, police officers had smelled booze.
The good old no headlights, bro. Yo.
When they approached his vehicle, and Jake had performed poorly in the sobriety test that they administered on site. A little over a month later, on November 19th, 2013, he got into a more serious DUI incident. This time, it's alleged that under the influence of alcohol, while driving a 2010 Audi with New York plates, Jake rammed into 3 other cars in the early hours of the morning. The clip of the accident, as shared by TMZ, went viral.
Let me ask you something. You say that now you know it's Jake. How do you now know it's Jake?
Well, when we were finishing filling out like the paperwork, one of my friend's cars was one of the cars that was hit. So, you know, the officers pulled the registration. They had to open his car because he locked his car and fled the scene with his friend. So they unlocked his car and dug through his car and found his registration, and that's how we knew, because they put his registration, his address, and his name on the police report for the insurance company.
Well, okay, so what you know is that Jake owned the car, but how do you know? Now, you've seen
but no, that's when we put it together. We were like, oh, that's who that is. Because, like, there was a bunch of people standing outside after, but only myself and one other neighbor actually saw him. And he's like, that guy looks familiar, but I wasn't really thinking of, like, placing him with anybody because that wasn't, like, the first thing on my mind.
So once the police told you that Jake is the owner of the car, did you then go and look, like, Google him or something and find an image of him, and that
triggered it, and it was like, of course that's him. Yeah, that's exactly who that was.
He had been with a friend in the car, and in a bizarre twist, immediately after the crash, he left the scene. Witnesses reported seeing him throw a bottle of vodka out the window and fleeing from the scene in an Uber. His lawyer then called the cops and told him that all the victims would be fully compensated and there was no need to prosecute. Oh, and he didn't get charged for fleeing the scene because he apparently left to seek medical treatment at the ER due to an injury to his mouth. Now, the rumor is that Jake was dropped from another season.
So that's fine. I hit somebody, I go to the hospital and get checked. That's why I didn't get, bro, come on, bro. This just shit make no sense. How you gonna get away with that, bro?
And there was no need to prosecute. Oh, and he didn't get charged.
And his lawyer called and said that no need to prosecute. They're gonna take care of, like, what? What, bro?
For fleeing the scene because he apparently left to seek medical treatment at the ER due to an injury to his mouth. Now, the rumor is that Jake was dropped from another season 3 of The Fosters, due to this trouble with the law. He later made a comment that might corroborate this version, saying that taking a break from acting helped him from getting out of hand. This is just speculation though. And the reason I'm saying the whole issues with the law leading him to being dropped from The Fosters could be speculation is because there's an alternate explanation. MovieWeb, for instance, writes that Jake left the show because he wanted a bigger part. This character he was playing was gonna get smaller parts after the 2nd season, so he decided to take the chance and play new characters. Either way, he was replaced with Noah Centineo for season 3. Also, regardless of the version of events around him leaving the show, his career did take a huge hit. That's undeniable. The DUI incident has followed his reputation ever since, and a lot of people think that he didn't end up being as great as he could have been. For instance, he got voice acting roles in
As great as he could have been. His first role, I think he said, was 8 years old. Or voiceover, whatever have you. Bro, this man, just a spreadsheet from the beginning. You know what I'm saying? Was just, he was on a roll type shit, bro.
2017, including the Emoji Movie, and has some upcoming projects as of 2023, such as Black Friday, Pledge Trip, Paw Patrol, The Mighty Movie, and Daft State, which aren't that bad, but you're gonna be compared to that biggest show you were on, which for him was Wizards of Waverly Place. And let's be honest, if you compare any of them to Selena Gomez, she's light years ahead of all of them. So of course that's gonna have a lot of people compare more often than they should. But still, this dude had talent, and I don't know how to say it without sounding rude, I guess, but it would have been great to see him further in his career by now.
It's a fact,
Adam
bro.
Hicks. So far, we've talked about DUIs, and if Disney stars getting DUIs surprises you, then you're about to be shocked too with what Adam Hicks did. Our next star is Adam Hicks, whose full name is Adam Paul Nielsen Hicks. Hicks was born in Las Vegas, Nevada.
Let me guess, he was under 21 too, like
in November 1992, and is a well-known, multi-talented individual who has dabbled in acting, rapping, singing, and songwriting. While it's unclear at what age he began acting, it's undeniable that he's good at his craft. He's known for being cast in The Boy Next Door as Jason Zimmer, Pair of Kings as a replacement to Mitchell Musso, How to Eat Fried Worms as Titus, and a co-lead role as Luther Waffles on Zeke and Luther. Also, shout out Lemonade Mouth, one of the best underrated Disney movies of all time. However, among all these, being on Zeke and Luther made a significantly positive impact on his reputation, and he arguably grew popular under that show, which had him for 77 episodes. Hicks' other notable acting projects include his role as Wen Gifford in Lemonade Mouth. His music career was also pretty solid, as he wrote, recorded, and got featured in remixes of songs that were used in Disney's productions. For instance, he wrote Determinate, Breakthrough, and Living on a High Wire, and all 3 of those songs were used in Lemonade Mouth. Determinate. Yeah, that soundtrack was crazy too. I'm not even listening to that after this. Of course, these are just some highlights of his music career. Now, one thing I found interesting is that Hicks' career had been solid up until he took up the role of King Boz in Pair of Kings, where he replaced Mitchell Musso. And just to refresh your memory, our first Disney star on this list to ruin their career was Mitchell Musso. He got into trouble with the law and somehow ended up losing his part in Pair of Kings. So what are the chances that the dude they got to replace the dude that ruined his career, this dude that was going to replace him, ruined his career too? What happened? Although, to be clear, his run-ins with the law started in 2018, and between 2013, when he last featured in Pair of Kings, and 2018, he had been in other acting roles. Some of the shows he featured in include Shifting Gears, Freakish, Little Savages, CSI, Windsor, and Texas Rising. Anyway, as being reported by Variety, on Wednesday, January 24th, 2018, Hicks was arrested on a suspicion of a string of armed robberies. Yeah, you heard that right. Not one, but multiple armed robberies. According to the Burbank Police Department, Hicks had been accused of robbing several people on the streets of the San Fernando Valley area. Apparently, Hicks, who was 25 at the time, and his girlfriend, Danny Tamburo, who was 23, would go up to people walking in the area, stick a gun in their face, and demand cash and other valuables.
That ass, bro. That ass, you ain't making bread, bro. What the fuck you gotta rob somebody for? Boy, what the fuck?
Who was 23, would go up to people walking in the area, stick a gun in their face, and
Yo, I swear I be hearing stories like this, bro. Like these famous, well-known people just doing dumb shit, and I'm like, bro, let me get that money and clout you got. I won't fuck it up. I won't take it for granted. You know what I'm saying? Bro, for what? Ain't you making bread? Don't you got bread? What you gotta rob people for, bro? That's some. The tables turn with shit like that. You're well known. Oh, somebody gonna do it to you, bro. Not you doing it to. Like, what's going on?
demand cash and other valuables. Two of the victims were elderly women in their 70s. A SWAT team was sent to his house in the 1800 block of North Niagara Street. Later that day at 2 p.m., they arrested him. On his premises, they found a gun and stolen property. This incident was of course shocking to a lot of people, but some felt it was within Hicks' capacity to do so, especially after TMZ revealed that he had 2 prior arrests on his record for, first, firing a gun and shooting himself in the leg, and second, for battery. The 2 prior arrests had however been dismissed for lack of sufficient evidence. Regarding the robberies, it just makes it interesting that he did them all within minutes of each other, and makes you wonder if he was just bored one day and decided to rob some people. Regardless, after the arrest, he was held on a $500
or if his girl was an influence in all of this bullshit, because that's possible too, you know what I'm saying?
just bored one day and decided to rob some people. Regardless, after the arrest, he was held on a $550,000 bail, while his girlfriend was also held on a $350,000 bail. Hicks's hearing had initially been set for March 23, 2019, but it got delayed after a judge appointed a doctor to help determine his mental state following a claim by Hicks's lawyer that the star wasn't fit for trial. Later, he did appear in court and pled not guilty to 3 felony counts of attempted second-degree robbery and 2 felony counts of second-hand degree robbery. 3 years after the incident, on June 18, 2021, Hicks was finally sentenced to 5 years for 1 count of robbery.
What?
His girlfriend received her sentence back in 2019.
5 years? So what, 21? He's out in 25, 26. Bro, what the fuck? I mean, that's tough, gang. That's pretty much it, bro. 5 years, you come out, then what? Nobody's gonna want to work with you. You know what I'm saying? And if he does get some work in acting or whatever have you, fucking good for him, that ass. But like
19, where she got 3 years of formal probation. In March 2022, Hicks was released on parole after he got credited for the 1,460 days that he spent in jail while awaiting sentencing. Now, another interesting part of Hicks' story is that he gave an interview after his jail term, and it got a lot of people sympathizing with him. In the interview, he opens up about struggling with anxiety and panic attacks, which were worsened by the pressure of being a child actor. He also talks about self-medicating with alcohol, marijuana, and Xanax from a young age. Even worse, he had family troubles with his mom suffering from multiple sclerosis, and the dad refusing to work. At 18, he was basically in debt and trying to transition from a child actor into adult roles. He also struggled with mental health issues, like delusional episodes, that were worsened by his mother's death. Going forward, he seems to be only interested in focusing on his music. He's had singles out periodically since October 28, 2022, with many of them being about his mental health and time in jail.
The truth is, I was arrested, but right after, I was found incompetent to stand trial, which means I was not in my right state of mind during all this or after my arrest. I was flagged by multiple psychiatrists as incompetent to stand trial, which means I could not stand trial because of my mental state. So the judge sent me to a hospital where they put me on medication, and it helped me immensely. Then once I regained my competency, I was sent back to LA County Jail, where I had to start the process over again and ultimately take a deal.
We can only hope his career goes up from here. This is another person I've actually seen on TikTok and on Instagram Reels, and he just talks about his mistakes. You know, he seems like a very good dude now. But yeah, he seems very mature. He went through a lot. It seems like he learned. But once again, you know, I guess when you get a bad image, especially when you're related to Disney somehow, they just like flatline your career. If you're
that ass, bro, that ass is crazy. And it makes me think about, I think it was Austin, right? Was it? No, it was Mitchell. I forgot which one, bro. It makes me think back to one of them and how pretty much they swept it under the rug. I think it was Mitchell. They kind of swept it under the rug and was still having him on their payroll and shit. You know what I'm saying? But like, bro, literally, it's just fucking bonkers that one thing. It only takes one thing to blow up, and it takes one thing to fuck it all up. You know what I'm saying? It's insane.
If you're watching this, bro, just keep up with your music and definitely just learn from your mistakes. That's all I can really say.
Take care of yourself, bro, for real.
Stoney Westmoreland. We started with DUIs, went to robbery, and now you might wonder, what could top that? Well, lean in, because our next Disney star ruined his career in a way that he may never come back from. I'm talking about Stoney Westmoreland, a well-known American actor and producer born in Kingsport, Tennessee in 1970. Now, before we talk about his scandal and downfall, just like our previous stars, he had a solid career going on, spanning from 1996 to 2018. For example, he featured in prominent films like Godzilla from 1998 as a tunnel guard. He was also in Golden Boy as a producer and World Trade Center as Patty McGee. He also made appearances in popular TV shows like Scandal, Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul, and NCIS, among others. In his most recent and quite significant role, he was cast on the show Andy Mack on Disney Channel as Henry Ham Mack, a grandfather. It was during this role that things would take a very dark turn. In December 2018, Westmoreland was arrested for a pretty serious crime, enticing a minor into He was accused of soliciting from a 13-year-old teenage boy via the Grindr app after he unknowingly communicated with an undercover officer on the app. The profile had been set up by police detectives and operated near the area where Disney's sitcom Andy Mack was being filmed. According to TMZ, the arrest took place on Friday, December 14th.
You're weird, bro. You're a grown man, bro. You're fucking weird.
2018 in Salt Lake City, Utah. He was taken into custody by Salt Lake City Police Department and the FBI Child Exploitation Task Force, who also found 2 novelty toys in his hotel room. He also admitted to sending explicit photos and that the person he was speaking to told him that he was 13 years old. His actions fell into 2 felony categories: enticing a minor by interest or text, and dealing in materials harmful to a minor, aka exploitation of a minor. He had apparently asked the teen to engage in acts with him and send him explicit photos. Leading to his arrest on December 14th, Westmoreland had taken a ride-sharing service to meet the boy, take him back to his hotel room. Given the serious nature of the incident, Disney immediately fired him. Within hours of his arrest, the station issued a statement saying, "Given the nature of the charges and our responsibility for the welfare of employed minors, we have released him from his recurring role and he will not be returning to work on the series, which wraps production on his 3rd season next week." So he was basically let go in the middle of filming for season 3 of Andy Mack. This swift action by the station seems reasonable when you consider that Westmoreland had been working alongside co-stars aged between 14 and 17, and the target audience of the show was really young kids. Now, in his defense, according to his lawyer, Westmoreland was evaluated by a doctor who said Westmoreland, did not actually believe he was communicating with a 13-year-old. He thought the exchange was a role play with another adult online. Still, this doesn't make things any better, because why would you role play with someone who's pretending to be a minor? No, the initial
bro, yo, I heard that shit before with somebody else. I forgot. I think I reacted to a video. Was it no, it wasn't Gideon's video. I read something about the role play, like, wait, was it a YouTuber? I forgot, but pretty much like it ended up being like that. Like they were talking, ended up wanting a role play. Man said be underage or whatever have you, and like that's fucking weird, bro. Role play or not, that's weird as fuck.
Charges, 6 felony counts, attracted a sentence of 10 years, but he entered a plea deal that brought the charge down to 2 years in prison for using interstate facilities to transmit information about a minor. As part of the deal, he must cooperate with DNA collection and also register as a sex offender for 25 years once he's out of federal prison. In addition, he'll be required to avail all his computer devices to random searches and inspections, and to notify authorities of all the accounts he uses for the electronic communications or storage, including things like email and social media. These supervised release terms will be in effect for 10 years after his release, and will also mean he cannot interact with people aged 18 years and below without the supervision of another adult. Now, given that Disney already cut ties with Westmoreland and the fact that his charges were of a very serious nature, there is a very, very minimal chance he's going to be picked up by any other station. Yeah, I think it's pretty much safe to say that this.
And if he does get picked up, that says a lot about that. You feel me? It says a lot about them, bro. It's not happening.
This dude's career is completely dead.
Bozo.
Bella Thorne. Full name, Annabella Avery Thorne. Born in Pembroke Pines, Florida, Bella is probably the youngest in terms of career kickoff amongst the Disney stars on our list today. She was born on October 8th, 1997, and began her acting career in 2003 with an uncredited role in a 2003 film called Stuck on.
Wait, what? What day?
In terms of career kickoff amongst the Disney stars on our list today. She was born on October 8th, 1997, and began her acting career in 2003 with an uncredited role in a 2003 film called Stuck on You. She must have been around 6 at the time. Just like our other stars, she has a pretty impressive portfolio. Notably, she's had roles in Dirty Sex Money, My Own Worst Enemy, and of course, she played Cece Jones in Shake It Up. Now, this last role, playing Cece in Shake It Up, is what she's really
I used to watch this bitch too.
known for, and was a significant step in her career. She also won awards along the way, including Young Artist Award, and the prestigious Imogen Award, or is it pronounced Imagine, whatever. Following the Disney role in the 2010 to 2013 period, she went on to be cast in other popular films, including Blended, Alvin and the Chipmunks, The Road Trip, The Babysitter series, The Duff, Infamous, and the series Famous in Love. These roles
you look good, Bobby. What's happening?
Spanned between 2014 and 2020.
What she
also,
do?
she ventured into music, and her single, Watch Me from 2011, made it to the US Billboard Hot 100, coming at number 86 on the charts. Overall, she's pretty well accomplished. So, how did she ruin her career? Well, the biggest consensus might be
oh yeah, I fucking remember this shit. This was insane, bro.
that she curved an image that is so distant from her Disney self. She's transitioned into a controversial and sexualized brand, which is as far as someone can be from the Disney image, and she knows it. For instance, while at Disney, she had the appearance of perfect. She later admitted in an interview that this was part of the pressure that she didn't appreciate while filming the show Shake It Up. She said, quote, "There are definitely a lot of pressures in Disney's eye to be so perfect, and I think that's where Disney in a sense goes wrong, because they make their kids seem perfect. That image is very difficult. It's also never been me. So what is the real Bella Thorne?" According to Bella, being real about poetry, sexuality, past struggles with abuse, and other areas of her life was a better way to connect with her fans. Again, this is pretty much the opposite of what Disney would allow near their brand. Moving on, her controversial stance didn't stop there. This is because later on, also, while filming for Freeform's Famous in Love, she was called a diva who was uncontrollable and crazy. Now, those are pretty strong words coming from a studio. Anyway, the bigger hit to her image, however, was when she leaked nude photos of herself to get ahead of a hacker who was threatening her. In June 2019, Bella, in a stance to, quote, take the power back, posted on Twitter messages from an anonymous person revealing topless selfies of herself in the process. She said, "Yesterday, as you all know, my shit was hacked. For the last 24 hours, I have been threatened with my own nudes. I feel gross. I feel watched. I feel someone has taken something from me that only I wanted one special person to see." She added, "I'm putting this out because it's my decision. Now you don't get to take yet another thing from me." This was a bold move from her and her fans.
Very bold, bro. Very, very bold. She pretty much said, I ain't giving nobody the chance. I'ma do it. Fuck it.
Praised her for it. However, the internet being the same old dark place, those nude photos have followed her reputation ever since. And to make it worse, Bella has continued to find herself in tricky conversations. For instance, in 2019, she directed a film, Her and Him, for P-Hub. And while there's nothing inherently wrong with directing an X-rated film, it's pretty insane to do so as a debut instead of directing shows. Regarding the experience directing the film, Bella said filming actual sex was quite a fun environment. Then, just a year later, in 2020, she joined OnlyFans and riled up a significant portion of her fan base. But why were they mad? Well,
you gotta think too, bro. These are child actors, bro. You know what I'm saying? They've been acting since they were kids, so it's like you end up finding yourself. You end up finding the things you like and you don't like. You learn. You feel me? You do or say things that you never thought you would do or say, and it's like, you know what I'm saying? It's bound to happen, bro. I feel like these actors, these child actors that have grown up, they've really done like a 180 for real, bro, compared to how obviously we know them as or seen them as. It's just bound to happen.
Well, she came in and gentrified the whole thing. In an interview with Rolling Stone, one content creator on the platform thought it wasn't so good that a former Disney Channel star with many sources of income would come in and dilute revenue for regular sex workers. Now, I wouldn't say Bella Thorne's career is over, but I'm sure a bunch of angry parents would like to say that. And I guess the OnlyFans competitors. But a lot of the people on this list, they suffer from being compared to people. Not the dude that was texting the minor, but the other people, they are still fairly young. So I think they're just always with that pressure. Disney, you need to be good boy, you need to be good girl. So when they start being a normal human being, they just start getting compared. I mean, especially Bella.
Motherfuckers talk shit regardless, bro. Motherfuckers talk shit regardless. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta learn how to take that shit to the chin, bro, and move on. Don't let it affect you for real, bro. No cap.
Thorne being compared to Zendaya, probably he gets that all the time in her DMs in the comments. Zendaya wouldn't do this, you know, like it has to be horrible. So I do sympathize with Bella Thorne. I sympathize with a lot of the people on this list, not everyone though. But I guess we'll only see with time where her career will lead her in a few years. Alright, that was it for this video. If you guys liked it, make sure to leave a like. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe.
You hear me? W video, bro. Yeah, bro. It's just, they're kids. They end up growing up, saying, do things that motherfuckers would have never thought, and it's like, you know, it's just different, bro. They are regular humans. They want to live a regular human life type shit. You know what I'm saying? This does make me wonder about what really goes on behind Disney doors and what kind of pressure rules they expect. Yeah, that's a fact, bro. We hear it and see it all the time. Orlando Brown is the closest thing we got to a Disney Channel version of Ezra Miller or Mr. Frog from Smiling Friends. You won't change my mind about that. Tough gives off major chill cousin who is just nice to hang out with vibes. Tough, please screw YouTube ads and keep getting sponsors instead. Your channel's IRL morbid focus. That's why. So it always ran well with the audience. That's a fact, bro. DUI is not doing nothing to anyone else. That's putting everyone around you in danger. What do you say? Yep, exactly what I meant. Dude is an idiot for doing that and always will be. He's very lucky he didn't harm anyone and was just pointing out Disney didn't care and still blacklisted him. Yeah, bro. Again, it could have gone way worse, bro. They deadass got lucky, bro. Not so much him. He fucked up some he did some damage, but again, to nobody. But it could have been worse. This man's a fucking idiot. Bozo stupid. This was left field for real, bro. I did not expect it. Cause it's like, again, you got all this money and fame. It's like, the fuck you robbing people for? For what? You know what I'm saying? But obviously it got deeper. It was his mental and everything else he had going on. Crazy. And then Bella Thorne. I don't know why. It just reminds me of Hannah Montana, bro. We know Hannah Montana. I mean, Miley Cyrus. It's like Miley Cyrus. Miley Cyrus with Hannah Montana. And then she grew up. Feel me? Does and did certain things. And it's like, you just grow, bro. You just grow. But let me know what you guys thought. That's my reaction. If you enjoyed, give this video a like, subscribe if you haven't. I'm out.